theatrics of scrolling a list. I'm glad you brought up a list because if you want to, hold on, Sean.
If you want to have me as a guest on your show, rape, sexual assault of
are you going through Trump charges or
when are you going
through Trump charges?
And you know what the KKK
they ran my
did?
grandparents out of Tennessee. They ran my grandparents out of Tennessee.
You know, some
my dad was a
crime.
U.S. Marine. He
they
fought
were
for this country.
murderers. They
Who have
hung
you
people.
served? These goons are kidnapping them from their homes. Shame on you. God have mercy on you and anybody who believes it's right. And your children will be ashamed of where you stand at this time, Sean.
And you know what?
Ashamed that you're on the wrong side of history, and you'll be back in the history books.
You are a disgrace that is putting law enforcement lives in jeopardy.
I'm going to pray for you. God help my brother Sean.
I know that somebody lost their job in Fox News today because there is no way that Sean Hannity purposely meant to put Tennessee Representative Justin Jones on TV with him. Because anybody who knows him knows that he's not going to back down. He's going to stand up for his constituents. He's going to stand up for the American public. Unlike a lot of people that are in the MAGA wing of the Republican Party who will do everything that Donald Trump says. And when I say MAGA wing of the Republican Party, we basically mean the entire Republican Party, since it seems like nobody has any type of backbone. Y'all, remember, I want to know what y'all thinking about this as we're watching along in the comments. So please, comment, let me know if y'all enjoyed this video. From the previews, I don't know how you could not, because he literally walked him all across his own TV show that he had to cut him off abruptly. We'll see that part. And remember, we're trying to get to 500 subscribers before the end of this month. Remember, click the follow button, subscribe, and let's dive right into this video.
Justin, thank you for being here. Appreciate your time. Now I got a question. On the screen, I'm going to scroll the victims. You live in Tennessee. You're a state rep in Tennessee, correct?
Correct, Sean, and I'm glad you don't even have to go through the theatrics of scrolling a list. I'm glad you brought up a list because if you want
to have me as a guest on your show, invite me. No, I'm scrolling the names not for your benefit, but for the benefit of our listeners, so that they can know the victims of crime in your state.
And I'm glad you're bringing up a list.
I want to ask you a question about it.
I'm glad you're bringing up a list, because if you want to go after rapists and criminals, you would stop being out with perverts in the White House and pedophiles in the White House, Sean.
Justin, you're not going to get to filibuster. I have a question. I have a question. I'm scrolling the names of victims of violent crime. By the way, homicide, rape, sexual assault of
are you going through Trump charges or
and sodomy,
going through Trump charges
and drugs? So my question to you is simple. My question is,
what are we talking about?
My question is, if you'll pay attention long enough to listen, my question is simple. Can you name any of the victims of violent crime by illegals in your state? And have you ever called any of them?
To your viewers,
answer the question.
To be afraid. He wants you to be fearful of your immigrant neighbors, because he wants to protect the billionaires.
Can you name one victim of violent crime in your state?
He hangs out with pedophiles and criminals in Mar-a-Lago. He does not care about going after rapists. He cares about keeping you fearful, to control you, because he wants to distract you from the real enemy, which are the corporate CEOs who are screwing you over.
Okay. Did you get you got your little talking point out? You feel good about yourself? This is not MSDNC. I'm asking you.
Now I'm going to pause here just because, Hannity does not get the irony of this entire situation. Fox News is nothing but state propagated media. Let's just be honest. That's all you do. You literally constantly give people fear tactic. Oh, blame the other. Oh, there's a bunch of rapists. There's a bunch of pedophiles. Dude, what about the people in the White House? If y'all cared so much about fraud, if y'all cared so much about people that are hurting children, if y'all cared about those types of crimes, why is the Epstein list not released yet? Less than 1% of the list that, remind you, the White House told us did not exist, and now we know exists, and they only have 1% of it left. 1% of it released. Now you're over here trying to be do you know the names of any of the do you know the names of any of the victims of Donald Trump's alleged crimes? Do you, Hannity? If y'all cared about drugs, why is Donald Trump releasing the Honduras president, who literally was convicted of bringing tons of drugs to the United States of America? None of this makes any sense. It makes no sense. Well, let's keep on listening. I just like the fact that Justin Jones, he's not kowtowing. He's not going to let you overtalk him. You're not going to get your Fox News talking points trying to get your gotcha moment. He's you're not going to do that. If I'm going to use my opportunity on here to let your viewing public know that you get paid to give them nothing but fear-based news so that they can continue to be slaves, basically, to corporate overlords who want to pay them the bare minimum while getting the maximum out of them, squeezing them for all they're worth while they can't afford food, while they can't afford housing, while they can't afford health insurance. Look at what he's talking about. Like, there's no health insurance plan passed right now. There's one passed in the House, but guess what? The Senate's saying they're not even going to take it up. And this is what you have to talk about. This is it. And you're giving like a list of like, what? He probably goes through, 10 names out of how many undocumented immigrants inside the entire country. You're talking about Tennessee when you should be talking about Texas and Florida that have millions of undocumented immigrants, not hundreds of thousands. But let's keep on going.
Again, pay close attention. You're comparing the KKK. What do you know about the KKK? Do you know a lot about the Gestapo? Do you know what the KKK did?
They ran my grandparents out of Tennessee. They ran my grandparents out of Tennessee.
At least you know some
my dad was a U.S. Marine.
They were murderers. They hung people. They assassinated people. Evil racist. And Gestapo, they led people to their death. And you're comparing law enforcement that are arresting those criminals,
shooting mothers in the face,
to those people,
shooting mothers in the face, bringing grandfathers out in the snow with boxers on.
But that's not ICE. But that's not ICE.
Now, I have a question. Mothers and
they literally did shoot a mother of 3, Renee Good, in her head. They left her for 8 minutes. She was still alive. They could have rendered aid, something that they're required to do by law. Because if you can take a life, you're supposed to. As soon as you shoot her, they should have rendered her some type of aid. She still had life inside her that we've now learned. Like, what is he talking about? That is exactly what ICE has done. Just 2 days ago, they pulled a grandfather naked in just his underwear out into the snow. Yes, that is ICE. Like, what kind of alternate reality are they living in? But let's keep on going. But before I push play again, I can't believe he was like, what do you know about the KKK? I'm pretty sure every Black American knows about the KKK. My grandmother, who's 82, still has memories of the KKK in the state that we live in. It's very real. Your president, his father, has been found at a Klan rally. Like, what are you trying to do right now?
Babies
so
and
my
cars,
question
that's what
remains.
ICE is doing.
Can you name a single victim of crime in your state by illegal immigrants? Yes or no?
I can name the people who are being criminalized by this administration and mass agents who are kidnapping people in our communities.
Can you name your state representative?
You want to go through a list? Go through the list.
You can't name
of the
one victim of crime.
Mar-a-Lago. Go through that list.
By the illegal immigrants in your state, can you? You never picked up a phone and got off your ass to talk to one constituent ever, to talk to them and give them condolences because you are making them less safe and secure.
To the CEOs, taking their health care, letting their farms close. You don't care about the American people. You're distracting from the real issues.
I care about the American people.
You want them to be afraid of immigrants because all you have is fear, Sean. You want people to be fearful. Their pain is real, but it's not immigrants. It's the corporate CEOs who are screwing them over and making it so that they cannot afford groceries in their healthcare. That's who we need to go after. This is not the America. The America I believe in does not look like this. The America I believe in does not look like masked men targeting people. Shameful. Shameful.
Let me tell you what you're doing. When you compare our ICE agents that are taking all those criminal, illegal immigrants off your street, although you can't name a single person because you're not in touch with your constituents and you're too lazy to find out who they are, you are putting their lives in jeopardy. Your reckless rhetoric is putting their lives in jeopardy. And you are making your city and your state less safe and secure.
You should be ashamed of yourself, and I'm going to pray for you that you lay down this burden and these lies, Sean. Shame on you, my brother. God have mercy on you. Shame on you.
You're a disgrace.
Because what you're doing is wrong. You are a disgrace.
Take the prayers. Thank you very much.
You have that $1,000
but the one that needs the prayer is you. The victims in your state need your prayers, not me.
The threat to the American people is in the White House. It's not these immigrants who are trying. 70% of them have been convicted of no crime, and yet these goons are kidnapping them from their homes. Shame on you. God have mercy on you and anybody who believes it's right. And your children will be ashamed of where you stand at this time, Sean.
And you know what?
Ashamed that you on the wrong side of of history, and you'll be back in the history books. I cannot wait until the truth of history shines on you.
Enforcement lives in jeopardy.
I'm going to pray for you. God help my brother Sean.
I appreciate the prayers. Pray for the victims in your state. Pray for the victims of murder. Pray for the victims of rape. Pray for the victims of violent crime. Pray for the victims of drug abuse. Pray for the children that have been sodomized and raped. Pray for them. Pray for them in your state, and you can't name one of them. And you don't give a damn about them. You don't care one bit.
Because the people of America deserve better than their lives.
The hypocrisy of the Republican Party in this clip was on full display. Sean Hannity, first of all, you tried to little boy, grown-ass man, trying to say shame on you, shame on you for backing and being around pedophiles and perverts at Mar-a-Lago. Because isn't it kind of ironic that nobody wants to bring up the elephant in the room? A lot of these victims came from Mar-a-Lago. Like, are we just saying that was happenstance? That just happened to happen. That was just a coincidence. Are we just going to walk over that part? And I'm glad that Justin Jones continued to put it out. Like, dude, do you not know who you're like pushing for? Do you not understand who you voted for? Like, who are you to tell me about making sure that my constituents are safe? My constituents voted me in because they know that I will do the best job for them. Now, based off of every metric and poll that's coming out, Republicans are deeply underwater on immigration, specifically because they did not do what they said they were going to do. In my opinion, I think they did what they said they were going to do. They were going to come out and get all the illegals, but people didn't realize that, hey, that undocumented neighbor, that's your neighbor. The person who makes your food, the person who fixes your roads, the person that watches your child, they were going to come after all of them. Now this is the criminals. When 70, I believe it's 70 to 75% of all undocumented immigrants that they picked up have no criminal history whatsoever. And the vast majority that they have picked up with some criminal history are not of violent crimes whatsoever. We're talking about, 1, maybe 2% of all immigrants that have been picked up might have some type of violent crime. 1 or 2%. So that means, 98, 97% don't have one. And for Sean Hannity to come on here like we don't have a felon 47 in the White House right now, you talking about crimes. What about the people he's pardoning? Like, you literally be having Matt Gaetz up on here. Matt Gaetz, who, mind you, messing with a minor. Like, y'all have a problem. Y'all need to clear house on. Just like Tim Tebow said, y'all need to remember, Republicans, the vast majority of your base is white people, white men specifically, and white men specifically overwhelmingly have a weird fascination with young kids and young girls. Let's just be blunt about it. Why are you yelling in Justin Jones's face when, no offense, that is y'all's problem? And if it was so y'all were trying to protect these kids, why isn't the files released? Yeah, that's what I want to know. When is the full unredacted files going to be released? It's never going to be released at this point because guess what? Donald Trump is covering for himself and a bunch of rich CEOs, like Justin Jones keeps pointing out. The CEOs who will keep filling his coffers with money so that he don't release the list while he continues to give you a basic minimum wage at $7.25 where you can't survive, where you don't have health insurance, where you can't get your food, where they continue to try and take away your social programs. But y'all tell me what y'all think about all this in the comments. I'm glad that Justin Jones did not let up. Don't let these Republicans, when you get on there and start doing their talking points with you, right there being a bobblehead, just nodding along like you agree. Don't do that. Come back at them and let them know, hey, I know the facts, and these are the facts, and I'm going to let your viewing audience hear the facts. You see how Sean Hannity had to cut the segment. He was like, okay, we have to leave this because there was no way he was going to win this argument. Why are you right now trying to talk to me about undocumented immigrants when you won't even talk to me about the felon in the White House? What is the point of this conversation? Y'all, tell me if y'all enjoyed this video, if y'all enjoyed this clip, if y'all enjoyed the awesome performance that Justin Jones put on, because everything is theatrics. Let's not lie. And I think that he did a very good job of trying to break through that wall on Fox News and letting people know, like, hey, do a little research. What about the felon? Why isn't the list released? Don't you get paid very little money? Because we know that's the people that are listening to Fox News, people that are trying to find somebody to blame other than themselves for what's going on in their lives without realizing that they're voting for the people that are going to continually keep them down, because in capitalist economy, there's going to be winners But in order for there to be very successful winners like Elon Musk, who's making almost $1 trillion, you have to have a lot of poor ass people on the bottom. Y'all, tell me what y'all think about all this in the comments. Remember, subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers by the end of this month. I think that we can do it. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.